Please do sit down. It's good today. We've got our service where we're going to have a really great start to the service, as I've asked a good friend to do an amazing creative way of doing the reading. So Sam, it's really good because he's gonna get loads of people. He's asked loads of people. He's got loads of props. He's got costumes. He's got absolutely everything. So I'm gonna hand it over to Sam, who's gonna do this creative reading. I'll get out the way. Do you need lots of space?
I don't think this is working. Is this on? Am I on? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, was it that cool thing we talked about in the week?
Yeah.
That really cool idea that you had?
Yeah.
I forgot. I'm really sorry.
You forgot?
Yeah, I don't have anything with me. I thought you were joking. I didn't think you actually wanted me to come and do it.
Yeah, you said you were going to ask loads of people. You were going to get people... You know, they were bringing costumes and you had big props and...
But that's a lot of effort. I couldn't really be bothered, to be honest. So...
Sam, get out. Get out. I've had enough. No. So, because that's what you had to do. That's what you had to do, and you didn't do it. So in fact...
I was only joking.
In fact, your wife and child are here, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Where are they?
Yeah,
Can you all get out? Just get out.
Oh, man.
If you can't do what I ask... You just get out.
That's really mean.
Well, he hasn't done it. He hasn't said anything. He's just said, I can't do it.
Simon.
Yeah?
Come on. We don't want to leave. We love it here. Please, can you forgive me? What will it take for you to forgive me? Do I have to get on my knees? Do I have to get on my knees? Would that help? Do I have to grovel at your feet for you to forgive me?
No.
Please.
Sam.
I don't want to leave.
Sam.
Yeah.
I'll forgive you.
Oh.
I'll forgive you.
Thank you.
You can.
Thank you.
You can stay.
It's really kind of you. Thank you. Can I go and sit back down?
Yeah, you can go and sit back down.
Brilliant. Thank you.
That's okay.
Thank you. Oh, Sean, before I sit there, have you got that pen that I lent you this week? What? Remember that really nice, nice silver pen? In fact, it was my favourite pen. It's got my name on it. I gave it to you and said, you can use that, but give it back.
I don't remember such a pen. Apparently I'm talking to this.
Well, you got a microphone as well.
Yeah.
This is really important.
It's not making any noise.
It's a
now
really
it is,
important pen.
I wasn't aware of the importance of that pen to you.
Well, I did explain
I'm really
it to
sorry.
you. And I lent it to you in good faith. Do you not have it?
I don't have it on me.
You don't have it?
There's plenty in the stationery cupboard
That's
out
just
there.
not good enough. No, they're just rubbish pens. I lent you a really important pen.
What's so special about that pen?
It's got my name on it.
Okay, I can write your name on another pen.
For goodness sake. Sean, do you know what? I lent you that in good faith. In fact, I think you should get out.
Well,
because it's just not good enough.
I think that's just dramatic.
It's a really important pen. I think you should just get out.
I'm really sorry.
Don't you think, Simon? Don't you think you should just get out?
You know what? We're in a church. I think you should just forgive me.
No, that's a really important pen. I can't believe you've got rid of that. I cannot believe it. It's unbelievable.
Oh, go on, please.
No.
Oh.
No. I don't care if you've got to play the guitar.
What do we think? What do we think, guys? Well, I just forgave Sam for letting me down in a massive way, and now he's telling Sean to get out because he's forgotten to bring back a pen.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous if you ask me.
What should I do to Sam? What should I do to Sam? Do you think he's recognised how much I've forgiven him and he can't just forgive someone else? Sam? No, that's not... If you've been forgiven that much, you should forgive others. That's not good enough. Get out and take your wife and your child with you. Get out. Come on. Out. I'm not joking. Come on. That's it. Go on. Get out. I've had enough. I'm sure we might be able to sell them for quite a lot of money, and that would be good. Do come back. Thank you. Sean. Just be aware, Sam and Millie are leaving us soon. Not because we've chucked them out. That's not the... but they are going up to Leeds soon to start, and Sam's doing an amazing job up there working with kids, a big kids club in Leeds. And so if you want to know more about why they're leaving, and it's not because, then please do talk to Sam Millie, and we'll pray for them in a couple of weeks' time, just before they go. Alex is going to read the Bible. Yes, because obviously Sam wasn't able to do the reading. So Alex is going to read. I think it will come up on the...
This may be a last reading before I wear glasses every time I read. Okay, the first reading is from Luke 18, verses 21 to 24. Jesus saw that he was sad and said, "How hard it is for rich people to enter the kingdom of God. It is much harder for a rich person to enter the kingdom of God than for a camel to go through the eye of a needle." The people who heard him asked, "Who then can be saved?" Jesus answered, I think I've gone on too far for a start. You're looking confused, Simon. Well, okay. Jesus answered, "What is humanly impossible is possible for God." Why are you looking at me like that, Simon?
It's really good reading.
Well, it was an average reading.
But you read Luke.
No, hang on.
It's Matthew.
I'm sure that's what you said.
No, it's Matthew.
Okay, I practiced that quite a lot, and having problems reading it as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
you would have bought your glasses if you...
yes.
But Matthew, if you could go to Matthew.
Gosh, don't volunteer to read.
What is going on?
Don't volunteer to read. Okay, so I think we're going for Matthew, 2 T's, verses 21, We'll go 21:18. Let's see if that's right. Jesus curses the fig tree. On his way back to the city early next morning, Jesus was hungry. I love figs. I'm carrying on. Hang on. Okay, what are you going to tell me now, Simon?
No.
I didn't really want to read. You messaged me. All right, I'll do it. Not a problem.
It's not Matthew chapter 21, verse 18.
Oh.
It's Matthew 18, 21.
Okay. Are you sure? Is he sure?
I'm sure.
Is it him? I think it's him.
Can we have the right reading?
Right. Okay.
Unbelievable.
Here we go then. Are you sure, Simon? You ready for this? I'll do my best. Matthew 18, verses 21 to 35. Results. Okay, here we go. The parable of the unforgiving servant. Then Peter came to Jesus and asked, "Lord, if my brother keeps on sinning against me, how many times do I have to forgive him? 7 times? No, not 7 times, said Jesus, but 70 times 7, because the kingdom of heaven is like this. Once there was a king who decided to check on his servants' accounts. He had just begun to do so when one of them was brought in who owed him millions of pounds. The servant did not have enough to pay his debt, so the king ordered him to be sold as a slave, with his wife and his children and all that he had in order to pay the debt. The servant fell to his knees before the king. 'Be patient with me,' he begged, 'and I will pay you everything.' The king felt sorry for him, so he forgave him the debt and let him go. Then the man went out and met one of his fellow servants who owed him a few pounds. He grabbed him and started choking him. 'Pay back what you owe me,' he said. His fellow servant fell down and begged him, 'Be patient with me, and I will pay you back.' But he refused. Instead, he had this man thrown into jail until he should pay the debt. When the other servants saw what had happened, they were very upset and went to the king and told him everything. So he called the servant in. 'You worthless slave,' he said. 'I forgave you the whole amount you owed me just because you asked me to. You should have had mercy on your fellow servant, just as I had mercy on you.' The king was very angry, and he sent the servant to jail to be punished until he should pay back the whole amount. And Jesus concluded, 'That is how my Father in heaven will treat every one of you unless you forgive your brother from your heart.'"
Well done. Sam, have you got this different Sam? Have you got Church Suite on your phone? Can you change Alex's name to Alex Never Do a Reading Again? What? Yeah. Never do a reading again. I can't believe that. I'll never forgive you for that. It's amazing, isn't it? Because sometimes it is difficult to forgive someone. It is difficult to forgive someone because they make one mistake and you think, oh, that's okay. They make another mistake and you think, I can't forgive them again. Jesus said, forgive someone 77 times. He didn't mean count out 77 times and then, you've got to number 77. I'm no longer going to forgive. He was talking about an infinite amount. He was just talking about this is a massive amount. Just keep forgiving people. But the problem is sometimes we struggle to forgive. Sometimes we think, I'm just going to hold on to that little thing. I'm just going to hold on to that little thing and choose not to forgive them. There's those familiar sayings, aren't there, about, every time we hold on, we're not punishing them, we're punishing ourselves. Or we're hoping that they're going to drink poison when we're just poisoning ourselves. But one way I think about it when we refuse to forgive is like we have a stone in our shoe. So, do I have some volunteers that are willing to put a stone in their shoe? Yeah, come forward. It can be of any age. It's some bigger people because you feel pain more in your shoe. Children don't feel as much pain in their feet for some reason. So if you can take your shoe off, or you don't have to take it off, you can just slide it in. But then take a stone of any size and put it in your shoe. And put it in your shoe, and then start walking around. And it's interesting because once you've got a stone in your shoe and you're walking around, you might be able to walk completely normally for a bit. But then, Epi there's got a bit of a leap, keep walking, bit of a limp sort of, and then suddenly this pain starts, the stone moves and it gets into a painful place in the shoe. Is anyone who's got a painful stone at the moment? Yeah, you got a painful stone. And suddenly, you sort of get used to it, but you get used to it because you're walking in a strange way. Yeah, you're walking in a strange way and suddenly you find that you'll always have this limp because it helps you not to feel the pain in your shoe. And so the two options you have, one is to think, I'll get used to this limp. I'll get used to the fact that I have to walk like this for the rest of my life. And that's that amazingly is what so many people do. Yeah? Someone who chooses not to forgive, it affects. You never know, it might move and be a little bit more comfortable in a moment. Or the other option, those of you that are walking around, Epi's even given up. She says, I can't cope, I can't keep going. The other option is to take off the shoe, take out the stone, and put the shoe back on. Or you can leave the stone in the shoe if you want. That's fine. But it's that reality, isn't it? That if we choose not to forgive someone, it affects us. It affects us. And it affects us because it might be that we have to start walking differently. We have to start living differently. We have to start thinking, where am I going to go? Because I've got to make sure that I don't smile at that person. I'm not got to make sure that I'm not nice to that person. Got to make sure that I don't. And our lives change. The way we behave changes just because we've chosen not to forgive. Just because we've got a stone in our shoe. So the best thing to do, as Anna's describing here, or showing us here, is simply to take the stone out of our shoe. And that's a serious question that I want to ask myself, and I want to ask us all. Are we walking with a stone in our shoe? Yeah, are you walking with a stone in your shoe? When you, just in the quietness, think, is there someone that I know I haven't forgiven? Because this story that Alex read, that Jesus told, about a king who was forgiven loads, or a king who forgave loads, sorry, and then chose not to forgive. We've been forgiven so much. Why do we keep that stone in our shoe? Sorry. You can keep the stone in your shoe or put it back. It's up to you. That's bag closer enough. So what I've got here is a box, a big box that represents a person's life. Right? So it represents a person's life. And I think it starts off, this person's life starts off all closed. You know, because I think, and God's love and God's presence and God's just amazing love is going to be represented by these balloons. You got that? So this is God's love and God's presence, and this is me or you. And it perhaps starts off when we think, I don't want to accept God's love. So God's love comes throwing onto us. Yeah, from there, throw onto the box. There's quite a lot of wind up here, isn't there? Which is nice. But it doesn't go in. It doesn't go in because the box lid is shut. And also Sean's a rubbish throw. But you can get closer if you want. And so the box doesn't fill up. But then one day we decide, you know, God, I want to accept your love. I know that you are a good God, and I want to accept your love. So we open up. We open up, and God's love starts coming in to our lives, and it starts filling up our lives, which is really good, because the more of God's love comes into our lives, the better. The problem is, sometimes we make mistakes. Sometimes, don't run off with God's love. We can keep using it. Guys, you can keep throwing it into the box if you want. Try and throw it into the box from down there. But sometimes we make mistakes, don't we? We make mistakes because we're filled up with God's love. We're filled up with God's love, but sometimes we make a mistake. We do something wrong. We hurt someone, and it's like a bit of God's love goes from our lives. But we say, sorry, God, and he replaces it. He puts that love back into our lives. Yeah, and then we make another mistake. And God says, I forgive you. I want to put that love into your lives. I want to fill you up. But now let's think. Let's think now, guys. Let's think. Let's sit there and let's have a think about this. Sit down for a moment. Right? Now what happens is someone comes along and upsets us. Someone comes along and they hurt us. Someone comes along and they offend us. Someone comes along and they make a really nasty thing to us. And it's like, it's not us doing something wrong, but someone else has hurt us. And so we're now one down in our box. And I think what we can do, what God wants us to do, is say, sorry, I forgive them. And as we forgive them, God replaces that one that they burst. And he keeps putting more love in our box. Because it's open. Don't take the love out of the box. But sometimes we think, I want to show love to someone. I want to give love to someone. And we can. We give love to someone. There you go. We give love to someone. And we think, oh no, I'm giving love. I've got less love inside me. But no, because God keeps filling it up. God's love never ends. God's love keeps going. It never ends. You're going to have to re-get some of these balloons. Right. But what we're thinking about today, guys, if you want to sit down, just sit down for the moment. Sit down for the moment, because this is the serious bit. Just put them in. Is that if someone hurts us... Right, sit down then. No, Hamish, sit down. Right. If someone hurts us, and we say, oh no, and then we think, no, I don't want to forgive them. I don't want to forgive them. I don't want to give any love to them. And the only way I can make that happen is by shutting up the box. The only way I can do that is shutting up the box. And so that means there's no way I can forgive that person. I'm not going to forgive that person. I'm going to shut this up, so I'm not going to forgive, because I'm going to hold on to that grudge and I'm not going to forgive them. The problem is we keep sinning. We keep doing things wrong. And God's love slowly disappears. Oh, that's good. I'm getting there. Yeah, so as God's love slowly goes out. And we think, yeah, I'm okay for a bit. But then God's love... What's happening to my popper? That one doesn't want to be burst. But it's true, isn't it? Eventually, we will be empty. Yeah, and God says, if you don't forgive others, then I can't forgive you. In another part in the Gospels, Jesus says, for whatever you give, I will give you. So if we give lots of forgiveness and lots of love, God will give us lots, and our box will get filled up, our lives will be filled up with love. But if we give nothing, if we give no forgiveness, then God won't forgive us. So guys, if you can do me a favour for a moment, if you can just hold your balloons, we can play with them at the end of the service and for the final thing. But if you can just hold your balloons and sit down for a moment. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Because although this is a silly, practical thing, I wonder how many of us have kept that stone in our shoe and kept the lid shut. How many of us have said, yeah, I come to church because I want God to fill me up with love, to fill me up with his presence, but we're choosing not to forgive others. We're choosing not to show love to others. And it's like the lid is shut, and it doesn't matter how much of God's love pours over us, nothing will get in. And eventually, this will be empty. Eventually, this will be empty, and we think this is good because I'm not showing love to anyone, so no one can upset me. No one can offend me because I'm not showing love to anyone. Or we keep open the box, and if someone upsets us, we give them love. We pour out love, and God's love keeps going into the box. I thought we could, do you want to come up? I thought as we sort of sing or play our final song, we could have a time to respond. A time to respond. I'm going to put some stones on the chairs in the corner here. And if you would like to say to God, I'm choosing to forgive others. Yeah, for some people you might think it is so difficult to forgive. But God says, well, let go, and even if you can't forgive them, take away that feeling that you want to get revenge. And I will help you to forgive them. Perhaps begin to pray for them. But it might be that today you can take that stone that I've just put on the chairs here and just bring it forward and just place it on the stage as a way of saying, Lord, I'm choosing to forgive. I'm choosing to say, I want my life to be open so that you can fill me with love. That's what I thought we could do. I'm just going to leave them there. Don't touch them just for the moment. Leave them there for the moment. So as the music plays, as we begin to quietly sing, just invite anyone who wants to just simply say, perhaps it's a way that you know that you've done this many times already, but you want to say, Lord, I'm choosing to forgive. I'm choosing to forgive that person. It might be someone that you know well. It might be a world leader. It might be anyone that you choose to say, I choose to forgive. Because I know only when I forgive does God pour his love into me. Does he forgive me? So we've got to forgive. So I invite you, if you want to, just come forward, pick up a stone and place it on the stage as a way of saying, I choose to forgive.